Praise the Lord. Today I'm going to teach you for the teens and college-going students about Genesis chapter 31. Here, in the Genesis chapter 31, after working for 20 years, Jacob is going to take a hard decision. As you know, previous class, I taught you about Jacob went to his uncle's house, Laban, because he was afraid of his brother Esau, because Jacob deceived his brother and also deceived his father to stole the blessing of birthright of Esau, and also the firstborn child blessing of Esau. So all the blessings Jacob took, and Jacob mother Rebecca was very afraid, and she came to know that her elder son Esau is going to kill his younger son Jacob. And moreover, she told her husband, also Isaac, to bless his son in such a way, that is Jacob, he can go to his Rebecca's uncle's house, which is in Haran. There, let him find a wife, because they are living in the land of Canaan. The Canaanite women are worshipping not true God; they are worshipping idols, and they don't want a lady, a girl, worshipping idol to get married to Jacob, because already Esau married that type of ladies, and there was a great in the family, there is a great fighting is going on because of that. So, and with the parents' blessing, and also because of afraid of his brother Esau, Jacob ran to Haran. Why he ran to Haran? Because his mother Rebecca's brother Laban is in Haran. So it was a long distance. So many kilometers he traveled by walking only, by walking. While going towards that place, once he was sleeping in a dark place during the night time, keeping the stone as a pillow, the God appeared to Jacob in the dream, and in the dream he saw there was a ladder that is joining, that which is touching the ground where he is sleeping, and the top of the ladder is touching the heaven, and the angels are going up and down through that ladder. And he saw the God on top of the ladder, and God told, I bless you. Wherever you go, I'm going to bless you tremendously, and I'm going to protect you until you return back to your mother to your fatherland. That is where you left your place, no, or your mother place, your native place. Until that, I'm going to bless you. And he got up in the morning, he was very happy, and he called that place Bethel. Please remember that he called that place Bethel. Bethel means house of God, because he saw God's presence over there, and he named it house of God. Then he carried on his travel. Then he reached where? His uncle's house, Haran, place of Haran. There he saw Rebecca. Sorry, he saw Rachel, and Rachel was Laban's second daughter. He fell in love with Rachel, and he worked for his uncle Laban. And uncle told, what do you want? Jacob told, I want to marry your second daughter Rachel, and I will work for her 7 years. He worked for 7 years. Can you see how many years? 7 years. After the 7 years are over, but Laban tricked and made his first daughter Leah to get married Jacob. Jacob was very angry at that time. Laban told, in our custom, it is not good to marry a younger girl. Even the elder girl was there. So now you be with this elder girl for 1 week. After that, again you marry. I will give you my younger daughter Rachel also. For Rachel, again you have to work another 7 years. So totally for 14 years, Jacob worked in Laban's house. During that 14 years, Rachel and Laban, what happened? There was a great conflict. During that conflict, what all happened is that Leah gave birth for 6 sons, and Leah also, Jacob also married the Leah's and Rachel's maid servant, because they want to give birth more children, and those ladies also gave birth 4 sons, and at last only Rachel gave birth 2 other sons. And as you know that what is going to happen now, we are going to see. So now the time is running, And now it is going to be 20 years. So how many years Jacob was working under Laban? He was now the 20 years has come. And the 20th year, what is going to happen? That's the lesson we are going to see in this Genesis chapter 31. In this 20th year of Jacob's ministering and working with Laban, what all happened to him at the 20th year? He is going to take a great decision. He is not going to take the decision by himself. He is going to take the decision according to the leading of God. That is going to be a hard decision. So I want to share the screen. So sorry, I want to share the screen. Okay, 1 minute. I want to share the screen. Okay, here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, not that one. I'm sorry. Not that one. Okay, I'll share it. Another topic here. Where is it? Yes, that's correct. Can you see here? So the topic of this message is God guides when we make hard decision. Okay, this decision is going to be hard. That God is going to guide you. That is the topic of Genesis chapter 31. We are going to see in this class how God is going to guide Jacob for after staying 20 years in his uncle's house, Laban house, he is going to go again to his parents' place. That is Canaan. That is in Hebron. He is going to go back. Okay. It is a long distance. While running from there, he came alone. Now he has to go back with how many wives? 4 wives, 12 sons. I'm sorry, 11 sons and 1 daughter. Okay. 11 sons and 1 daughter. All his family is now complete. He, with this and also more flocks, servants, he became very rich. He is going to move towards his native place. He didn't take the decision by himself. He took the decision because something bad happened there. That I'm going to teach you now. So for this chapter, I gave the title, God Guides When We Make Hard Decision. Genesis chapter 31. Okay. So Jacob worked for his uncle Laban for about how many years? 20 years are over. Laban was unfair. Who was Laban? I told you Laban was Jacob's uncle, Jacob's mother Rachel's brother. Okay, Laban was unfair, and Jacob married Laban's 2 daughters and Laban's 2 and his daughters 2 maid. So how many wives for Jacob? 4 wives. Now 11 son and 1 daughter. Now Laban was unfair, changing Jacob's wages 10 times. In those days, you know what you mean by wages? Your daddy work, your mother work, get a earning, salary, isn't it? In those days, working as a shepherd, what is the salary is that they will keep asked the master will say, I'm going to give the salary of the sheep that is striped, that is spotted. Okay, sometimes you say hereafter when the sheep born with the spotted on the skin, that belongs to you. Then after some time, Laban is telling, no, not spotted, not spotted. Hereafter, when animal born to a sheep with stripes, that is going to be wages. Like that, Laban changed Jacob's wages for 10 times. Yet God protected Jacob and made him successful. In this chapter, Jacob decided to live secretly with his family, and Rachel also deceived her father by stealing his idols. And while going towards their family, towards the native place, and Rachel, when he's going to leave his father's house, took him one idol. There, in those days, they will keep idol as a foam idol. This foam idol, they will think that idol is going to bless their family, prosperity, and that idol has to go generation after generation. That means if a family has an elder son, the elder son will take that idol. Think that family head of the family is that son, and all prosperity belong to that son. That is a superstitious thing. That is not from God, that they are following. That idol Rachel took when she left with her husband and moved towards Jacob's native place. All these things are going to happen here. Now we'll see Genesis 31. 3, the key word for this chapter is then the Lord said to Jacob, go back to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you. So whenever God gives you some promises, okay, no, some God give you something to do. In that case, he also joined with a promise. He never say or he never commands anything without giving a promise. That means if you obey this, God will give this. So this is what is there. You go back, I will be with you. So in our life, in your life, God guides you through His word, His spirit when we face hard choices. For example, now Dharani is studying in Chennai. Okay, when mother and father and she took a great decision, isn't it? She was with mother for a long time. Now she has taken a great decision and think to stay alone from the away from the parents, to stay in the hostel, a new circumstance, a new friendship, everything new. It is not easy for her. It is somewhat hard only. But according to the lead of the Holy Spirit and the word of God, God led her to move towards to study in a new place. The same way, God is telling Jacob, go back to the land of your father. Who is Jacob's father? Jacob's father was Isaac. Isaac's father was Abraham. You all know that God promised the land of Canaan to Abraham and his descendant. That and all I finished in Genesis chapter 12, 17, 18, 19, 22. All these chapters, God promises Abraham that this land where you are walking and moving towards, that land belongs to you and your generation. So now Jacob is not in his Canaan, he is in Haran. It is in Syria. Where is Haran? It is in Syria. So where is Syria? Syria is on the north side of Canaan. Now, God has to bring back from Syria, that is Haran, to the Canaan, where God promised Abraham. So God has to fulfill his plan. So after 20 years, Jacob is moving towards his land. God is telling, go back to the land of your father and to your relatives, and I will be with you. God guides us through his words and spirit when we face hard choices. Okay, now let me go to this here. In this chapter, what are the things we are going to see? First one, what we are going to see is um, Jacob's problem with Laban. Whose problem with Laban? That is, Jacob's problem with Laban. Then God spoke to Jacob because there is some problem going on. God want to lead Jacob. Then, after taking the guidance from God, Jacob called his wives. Okay, two wives are legal and the other two wives are substitute only. So he called only two wives. Who are the two wives? The two daughters of Laban. For the elder one is Leah and the younger one is Rachel. Okay, so he called Leah and Rachel and he explained to them. Who explained? Jacob explained to his wife Leah and Rachel what actually happened. After that explanation, Jacob decided to leave Laban secretly. You can ask me, where is Laban now? Laban went to a far off distance. There, he and his sons were rearing the sheep because that is the season for rearing the. What do you mean by rearing the sheep? The sheep has wool, isn't it? You know, sheep has wool. They will give forth the good food to the sheep. Then lamb will become very big. When the time comes, they have to remove the wool. That we call as a rearing time. During that sheep rearing time, Laban and his son went to that place where the sheep rearing was taking place. So Laban is not there. Laban's sons are not there. Who are there in the home? Only Jacob is there. Jacob wives are there. Jacob sons, 11 sons and one daughter are there. Now Jacob is telling, I am going to leave this place secretly. Why Jacob want to live secretly? Because he was afraid, but Laban will resist him. Not only that, Laban may say, you go alone. I won't leave my daughters. I want my daughter. He can say like that because nobody is going to help Jacob. He's alone there. All Jacob's relatives are in Canaan. Nobody can support him to Jacob. So he was afraid that if I tell Laban, my uncle, then uncle never leave his daughters to go accompany me in my journey. So Jacob thought he's afraid. Can you see here? God gave the promise. And he got what promise God? Then Lord said to Jacob, go back to the land of your father and to your relatives. I will be with you. Isn't it? But that means he has to obey, isn't it? Here Jacob did is wrong. Living without telling is wrong, isn't it? Is it correct? That means what? You are living secretly. Then what will Laban think? So he took something else also from this house. He's doing something bad. He might think, no. But Jacob took this decision. Jacob leaves Laban secretly. While leaving, what happened is Rachel is deception. What deception Rachel did? Rachel took the family idol of his father Laban. The family idol is small piece of any idol. Okay, I don't know how it look like. It is told idol. She secretly kept, and she moved away from the house with her husband Jacob. Okay, so family idol is missing. Other things are not missing. Jacob didn't take anything belonged to Laban. Jacob took what all belonged to him: his children, his wife, his flock, his sheep, his servants, and all his belongings. He never took not even a single piece of cloth belonged to Laban. But Rachel is a deceiving lady. Can you see how superstitious Rachel is? Even though Rachel believed the true God, she is still having this bad habit of relying on the idol also. Okay, so this is very really bad. So much of the time in our life also, we'll say, Jesus Christ, we believe you. But in that time also, we secretly started to do wrong things in such a way to come up in our life. And moreover, telling believe you Jesus, but go to the class and copying from other children. Cheating the teacher, okay, cheating the parents. All these things we are doing, but still telling, I'm going to Sunday class, I'm praying, I'm reading Bible, I believe Jesus, I believe God's word. All these things telling, but also doing cheating things and doing all robbery things. So here Rachel did this, isn't it? Then what happened? When they move away from the place, the information went to Laban. What information went? The information is that your son-in-law took his wives, his children, his flocks, and ran away from your home. Then Laban returned and saw everything was vacant. He got very angry. So he thought of chasing Jacob along with his servants. So he was also moving fast to the place where Jacob was moving. So there was a great conflict is going to happen. Now, what happened? One night, while traveling towards to reach Jacob, Laban tented in one mountain. There, when he was sleeping, God appeared to him and told Laban, don't touch Jacob. Don't touch Jacob. God warned Laban in the dream. God warned Laban in the dream, don't touch my son Jacob. That's all. He got up. Then he went and reached where Jacob put the tent. And Jacob was shocked. And Laban asked only one thing. What? He found out that his idol was missing. What was missing? Idol was missing. Then he got very angry. Laban asked Jacob, it's okay, you didn't take anything, but where is my idol? It was missing. That is my possession. If I miss my idol, I lose my prosperity. I lose my head of the family post. That is very, very important for me. Who took it? You only took it. Then Jacob told. In that time, can you see, before coming to Laban house, Jacob was a deceiver. He deceived his father to take the first son's blessing, that is his elder brother's Esau's blessing, and he deceived his brother Esau for a cup of straw and took his birthright. He is a deceiver. Now, what God did is he moved Jacob from a very comfortable place to a place, very difficult place to handle with a difficult man Laban. That Laban changed him the pay of Jacob for 10 times. He was cheating Jacob very, very badly. Still, God blessed Jacob, and Jacob got so many sheep and a servant. Instead, because in spite of that, God blessed. So now Jacob totally changed. Now he is not a deceiver. Now he's not going to steal anything. Jacob is telling, no, I didn't take not even a single piece. You check all the places. So Laban and the Laban servant checked Jacob's tent. Nothing was there. They went to Leah's tent and they checked, nothing was there. But at last they went to Rachel's tent. When they went to Rachel's tent, what Rachel did, Rachel took that idol and put a cloth over it and sat on it. And she told, when the father entered Rachel's tent, Father Laban entered Rachel's tent. Rachel told, I have the ladies' issue. I cannot get up. I am sitting. I have ladies' issue. So I cannot get up, Daddy. I'm sorry. You are elder, you are dad. I have to give respect to you, but I cannot get up. And he was sitting over the idol. Okay. And they came and checked her tent. Nothing was there. Then Jacob told, how dare you do all these things to me? You checked everywhere. You didn't find any idol. Jacob got very angry. At that time, Laban told, okay, what happened is happened. Let us make a peace agreement. Let us make a covenant. Why they want to make peace agreement is that they both of them not believing other person. Laban did now not believing Jacob. Jacob is also not believing Laban. Jacob is thinking, anytime you will come back to my native place and took your daughter. And Laban is thinking, no, idol is somewhere. I missed it. Maybe you come back with the idol and tell that you are the head of the family. Because the idol, whose the idol belonged, they became the head of the family. Their culture. Okay, not written in the Bible. You have to follow that. So Laban also not believing Jacob at that time. So they believe God. They made a covenant and they kept one stone over there, and then they had a meal. In those days, what they will do is that to make a covenant, they will install a pillar in that place, and then they will those parties make food and eat and tell that that pillar is a sign that hereafter I won't come to your place crossing this pillar, and you should not come to my place crossing this pillar, and God is watching over this pillar, and let us eat your food. Come, no fighting, no nothing. I will be both eat a meal. Okay, they started to eat a meal. So that happened, the peace agreement. With this, this chapter finishes. It has 55 verses. So many things are happening in this chapter. Jacob's problem is his uncle Laban. God speak to Jacob regarding that. Then Jacob spoke to his and explained to his wife Leah and Rachel. Then Jacob leave Laban secretly. I know why. I explained you why. During that time, Rachel's deception and she took idol belonged to his father Laban, and Laban chased them. And so Laban challenged Jacob regarding that idol, and he didn't found it, because still Rachel deceived it, and she sat over it and told to his father, I have ladies issue. Then at last they made a peace agreement. So let me go to that. What happened? Jacob worked for his uncle Laban many years. Laban kept tricking him and changed his wages 10 times. So Jacob said, if Laban said, your pay will be spotted sheep, then God made me more spotted ones. If he said, no, now it will be striped one, then God made me striped one. So this is what is happening. If Laban is telling, okay, Jacob, hereafter, when the sheep give birth animal with spotted, that spotted animal belong to you. Okay, Jacob says, yes. Then God made more sheep to give birth spotted babies, with spotted babies. Okay, then that all belong to Jacob. Seeing that, Laban get oh, how much, what he is getting more. No. Now I changed my agreement. Hereafter, an animal born with stripes, that belong to you. Then after that, those flocks give birth only striped animals. So that belong to Jacob. Like this, you change it like that, this, that. Each time he changes, God made those sheep to give birth the animal, whether it is spotted means spotted, whether it is striped means striped. Okay. In that way, God, after that, this is what's going on. Then one day, what happened? is that one day when he saw Laban, the son, went and told daddy, the Laban daddy, Laban, see, now this Jacob became very, very rich. He robbed everything from you. Your flock is not so much, he has more flocks, or his flocks are very, very strengthful, very, very strong flocks. Well, or your flocks are very thin, very weak, something very sickly things. But his flocks are very healthy. So he robbed everything from you. And hearing this, Laban also thinking, oh, that may be like that. So Laban's face completely changed. So when Jacob saw Laban's face, it was not good. He's not anything smiling at Jacob. He's just very rude, keeping his mind. Then at that time, God showed a dream. In that dream, God appeared and said, I see everything. I am the God who spoke to you at Bethel. Now, I told you where is Bethel? Bethel means God's house. When he was moving towards Haran, once he slept in the night in the dark place, there he saw the dream. No, there was a dream, and the ladder was there. Angels were going up and down on top of the ladder. God was there. God, I will bless you, I will keep you until you return back. So, God is telling, I am the God of Bethel. Okay, now it is time to go back home. Jacob obeyed and left with his family and flocks. What is the mechanism? Laban cheated. He keep changing the rules of the Jacob's salary. God overrules. Every time Laban changes the deal, God makes the animal give birth in a way that benefit Jacob. God shows in a dream, Jacob sees that it is not luck or skill, it is God who made him successful. So now what is the mechanism? God's call him back. God reminds Jacob of his promise of Bethel and tell him to return to the promised land. So the mechanism is that human tricks, but God turned the trick around for his people. Human trick, but God turned around the trick. So many people, maybe your friends may be tricking against you. Maybe your relatives may be tricking against you. Whatever may be the thing, whoever trick against you, don't afraid. If you rely on God, God will change the trick around you for your favor. Anything, if they trick, it is going to be for your favor. So, God guidance in the hard decision. When people turn against you, God gives the direction and promises his presence to you. So, when people, if you are relying on certain friends, for example, if you rely on certain teacher also, sometimes what they will do when you become good studying children, when you're getting good marks, your friends may go and tell the teacher bad thing about you. The teacher who was favorable to you may be changed against you sometimes. I don't know. At that time, don't rely on teacher. Even the teacher is not good against you. Rely on God and his promises. And God will confirm his leading and protect you from any harm who is doing against you. That's what they did know. Laban want to harm Jacob in all the ways. He changed his salary for 10 times. Their harming is there. Then when he returned also, he chased him to bring back everything from him, to take his daughters, everybody. And he was chasing with a bad intention. But God warned him in the dream, don't touch my son Jacob. Even though Rachel deceived, Jacob didn't do. Why God didn't reveal Rachel's cheating thing to his father? Why? Because God want to protect Jacob. Jacob didn't do any mistake. Jacob was once a deceiver. Now he has completely changed. God changed his character completely. No need to punish him now. His time is to go back, return to his land of his father, and God has to fulfill his promise in his life. His wife Rachel is doing mistake. For that, Jacob should not be affected. God's plan should not be affected. That's why God didn't reveal anything to mistake what Rachel did. So, and protect you from any harm. So, what was the Jacob's problem? The Jacob's problem was Laban's son accuses Jacob of stealing their father's wealth. Jacob noticed Laban's attitude has changed. Attitudes change. So, two things are happening to him. What have they happened? Two things are happening to Jacob. One, jealousy will come when God bless you. Try to understand. This lesson main thing is jealousy will come when God bless you. So what's the when you do well? whether in studies, in sports, or spiritually, other may become jealous. And at that time, don't be surprised. Oh, what is this? These people are my best friend. I'm not going to anybody's problem. I'm just studying. Well, I'm getting good marks by God's grace. I'm doing good in my sports, maybe tennis, maybe football, maybe hockey, maybe running, anything. Spiritually, sometimes in the church, you are very good. You are reciting Bible verse like Grace Kai. Every day she is reciting one Bible verse. Like her, you may be spiritually strong, very prayerful girl. But even the church people get jealousy against you. Don't think in church you won't get jealousy. There also people are jealousy when you are spiritually strong. That time, don't be surprised. What's the Bible example? Joseph's brother envied him because of his dream and their father's love, isn't it? Father Jacob went through so much of problem. But what happened? Father Joseph went through so much of problem because of his dream. But what happened? Joseph only took care of his entire family. God took him to the Egypt and made next to Pharaoh. He took care of everybody after that. Isn't it? Such a great work Joseph did, in spite of he was evil, envied by his brothers because of his dream and because of his father's love. So even though the brothers tricked badly, everything changed good, isn't it? As happened to Jacob. A student gets top mark or wins in a competition. Other may spread rumors instead of celebrating. You may be getting top mark, you can win the competition, speaking competition, spoken competition, essay competition, so many competition. Instead of praising you, they can't tell bad against you. Oh, she did like that. Because of that, she's winning. Because of that, instead of saying good for you, they start rumors instead of celebrating. Stay humble. At that time, what you have to do? Stay humble. Don't be proud. See, I'm very first. I'm first in my class. I'm spiritually strong. I'm good in all recitations. Don't be like that. Don't be very proud. Stay humble. Keep working hard. Trust God. Don't let jealousy of others pull you down. How the jealousy of pull you down? When they feel jealousy, you also started to talk bad about them. Then you also started to feel proud. So their jealousy then start to pull you down. If you don't want jealousy to be pull you down, you stay humble, keep working hard, and trust God. And second problem, what happened? People attitude can change quickly. What happened? People's attitude can change quickly. Lesson is friends, teachers, or even family can change how they treat you. But God's love never change. God's love never changes. A friend might turn cold, that means maybe angry, after you achieve something they wanted. Cold means what? Not talking to you. That friend want to get highest mark. Instead of your her, if you are getting the highest mark, then she stop talking to you. She try to avoid you and try to take other friend, isn't it? So don't rely on human approval. Most of the girls, I'm telling you, sometimes boys also, they also always want human approval. I want this girl to talk to me. I went and talked to that girl. She's telling, don't come here, go somewhere. Then who I come talk to? Yes, it is tough. I'm not telling it is easy. It is tough if somebody is avoiding you, if somebody is jealous against you, and somebody is changing cold against you, and he is behaving very, very differently now. It is very tough for the teen girls and boys to handle it. I know that. But that time, don't rely on human approval. Most of the time, you want human approval. What happened to Jacob? He worked for 20 years. He is not getting any approval from Laban, his father-in-law. He changed his wages for 10 times. And each time, God is only blessing. If God didn't bless, Jacob might have been like a nothing fellow, nothing at all. And if Jacob might have said, I want to go, Laban may say, I won't send you, take you only go alone. I won't send my daughters, my flock. You came alone here, you run away alone here. He might have done like that. But God didn't allow this harm to happen to Jacob. The same thing happened to you also. Don't rely only on human approval. Anchor your worth in God's constant love. Where is that? It is there in Hebrews 13:5. Please, everybody, open the Bible. I'm also opening. I want to read Hebrews 13:5. Let me read Hebrews 13:5. Let me that take me. Okay. Hebrews 13:5. I will read it loud, okay? I will read it. Okay. So we say with confident. So 13:5. Keep your life free from love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never I will leave you, never I will forsake you. When you are free from the love of money and be content. What do you mean by content? Content means you are in a tough situation. In that situation also, you are not murmuring. You are relying on that, on God. God will one day certainly lift me up. And being in that position, relying on God, holding on the faith is content. So God wants that contention from you. No, don't rely on money. That means popularity, riches, wealth, all the approval from the people. Don't rely on anything. Just throw away everything. Be content. If anybody is not good with you, all people are showing attitude against you. Everybody are jealous against you because of your upliftment. Be content. God is telling you, I will never leave you, never forsake you. As God never left Jacob or never forsake Jacob, God protected Jacob from a greatest harm. He might have lost everything, what he have earned for 20 years in 1 minute. What happened to his life? He might have returned back shamefully before his brother Esau. Nothing is going to be in his hand. He became a very, very poor man. He might have lost all his children because from the 12 tribes, from the tribe of Judah, Jesus Christ came to this world. This tribe is very important. The nation of Israel is formed based on these 12 sons. 12 sons, isn't it? Everything is going to last in a minute. But God didn't live it. How God did it? By every time Laban tricked him. Now this time when a sheep give birth spotted, that belonged to you. God made the sheep to give birth spotted one. Next time striped, God made the sheep to give birth striped animal. All healthy animal that belong to Jacob. So you can think that why my situation is not changing. Why I'm still suffering. In your suffering, God is moving towards you. All the things are changing and moving good towards you. In one day, everything is going to change. Until that time, God is slowly moving everything good for you. So people attitude can change quickly. Don't rely on that. Okay, that is very, very important in life. So when jealousy and changing attitude hurt you, what you should remember, you have to remember, my children, three things. God's love is steady. God's plan is bigger. He can use every enmity to guide you forward. Today I'm going to close this lesson. God's love is steady. God's plan is bigger. God can use even enmity to guide you forward. So many things bad happened in Jacob's life. First of all, he was very bad. He was having a very bad attitude of lying, cheating, and he's a very selfish man, thinking only about him, and he take decisions by himself. But here, he didn't took decisions by himself. He called his wife and asked them what I have to do. Your father is cheating me. Now your father's attitude has changed. His face is very much changed. Your brothers are telling that I robbed from your father. All these things happened to me. For 20 years, I'm suffering. My wife, what I have to do now, tell. My God is telling in my dream to go back to my land of father. What I have to do, the decision. At that time, Rachel and Leah, who always fight, previous class, I told they always fight, 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 fight. No talking between these two wives. Always, both, even though they are sisters, they are always fighting. Now, this time, both of them told, yes, what my father did is wrong to you. The father robbed everything belonged to me, and lady girls are telling everything belonged to us for my father robbed. Now, we belong to you. Come, let us go to your father's land. We also follow you with our children. So they also came together. Everything came together. Even though Rachel did a mistake, what's happening is that God hide it. Why? For not to bring back, they took out all Rachel's mistake. No, to take care of Jacob. If, for example, if Laban found that idol in the Rachel's tent, what might have happened? He told, yes, you are a stealer, you are a deceiver. What you did to your father and to your brother, you are doing to me. I am not going to give my children with you. I'm going to take my daughter with me. I'm going to take all the flock with me. You took my idol. You are a cheater because you want to claim my leadership. Once you come back with that idol and tell, I belong, everything belong to me, I am the leader of the family. That is your intention. That might have happened. Again, God's plan is going to be completely thwarted. God don't want this to be happen. And what's the meaning of it? Laban's son accused Jacob of stealing their father's wealth. Isn't it? That's what they're telling. Your wealth, Jacob is stealing. Envy and false accusation often arise when God blesses his people. That happened in the life of Cain and Abel. God accepted Abel's blessing, but God rejected Cain's offering. So Cain got angry and jealous and killed Abel. That was the first murder happened in the God's family. You all know that. It's there in Genesis chapter 3. Why Cain killed Abel? Because of envy and jealousy. When God bless you, not everyone will celebrate. Expect jealousy, but stay faithful. Laban's attitude shifted. He no longer treat Jacob kindly. Human favor is temporary, but God's favor is constant. You always rely on God's favor. Don't rely on human favor. Sometimes they'll be good to you. Sometimes they will change your attitude towards you. They never show you any favor. If they are not going to show any favor, don't be discouraged. You rely on God's favor. That is very, very constant. Then God speak to Jacob. Then the Lord said to Jacob, go back to the land of your father and to your relatives, and I will be with me. With this, I'm closing my class, my children. God is telling to you directly. Directly. Don't rely on human attitude, favor. Rely on God's favor. Do your thing. Be truthful to God. Be faithful to God. Do your work. Even though it seems to be very tough for you. Don't murmur. Don't do wrong things what people are doing against them. Be content in your situation. God is telling you directly, my children, I am with you. I will bless you. Be content in your place. And God, the God of Jacob, the God of Bethel, God is telling, I am the God of Bethel. Bethel means God's house. The God of Bethel is now directly talking to you, my children. God bless you all. Amen. Thank you for joining. Bye.